Hello everyone and welcome back to another week here of the Osamania Long Note Tournament number 4. We're here with the second match of the round of 32. Going to be another losers bracket match here that we're going to be seeing. Actually no, the first losers bracket match I should say. So we are going to be seeing the first player going to be eliminated from the tournament here. I am Potassium F, casting alongside Snow. How are you doing?
Alright, hello everybody. Thank you for Potassium. Aside from the slight delay, I just have to multitask with this one, but like you said, we're getting into this first matchup in the losers bracket. I'm quite excited for this one. I would say some relatively close seeds that we have right here.
Yeah, it is going to be, I believe, Maxtulini versus zKuri. Do you just ignore the Z? Is that what happens?
I believe
zKuri?
So.
I always need a guide about how to pronounce player names.
Yeah,
because most of the time I'm just kind of guessing.
It's like that sometimes, but I mean, I think they've made themselves a little well known in this scene. I have been seeing some of their scores within the server, and they're definitely a bit of a scary opponent to be seeing already.
Yeah, I do believe that they did lose by default, I think, in the previous round. So actually one of the highest seeds that we're going to be seeing in the losers bracket, seed number 11 versus seed number 43 in Maxtulini. So Maxtulini actually one of the higher seeds of the losers bracket, but unfortunately having to match up against zKuri is a little bit of a rough situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there really isn't like too much that they could do, but I mean, hopefully they're able to put up a good fight in here.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see Maxtulini put up some pretty good scores overall. I think mostly full combos all around as well last week. So if he can keep it up here, we might get a fairly close one.
Yeah. I am having a slight issue with the stream, but so far it does look like we see a coordination 2 protect and a ban on density 3.
Yes, I do.
So Maxtulini protecting Tech 3, zKuri protecting coordination. Okay. And banning the density out, so zKuri wanting to avoid the denser maps, I guess the more straightforward maps potentially.
Yeah,
and wanting to target the coordination a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that being a good strategy. I mean, especially just given Maxtulini struggling a little bit on the accuracy side, at least in terms of ratio.
Yeah, so definitely picking the maps where the accuracy is going to play more of a factor, typically in some of these coordination or kind of release-focused maps. And it is going to be Maxtulini banning out coordination 1 as well, so kind of following that line of thought as well goes the other way.
Yeah, but it is going to be zKuri's first pick, coordination 1 ban, so definitely going to be interesting to see how this kind of follows up, just given like we did see that coordination protect. But I mean, I don't think it's too surprising, especially just given how tricky coordination 1 is in general, and it just being kind of a bit of a weirder skill set when it comes to a lot of these players, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And I wonder if we're just going to be seeing... Oh, what are we... Going to be seeing Tech 1 actually being picked first, so not going to target the coordination pool right away.
It's a good choice, honestly. I mean, I would say Tech 1 does have like that kind of tricky aspects as like coordination 1, but kind of mixed in with like a lot of these like other elements that we see within like the coordination picks just in general.
Yeah, some of those kind of like I guess, technical in the ways of being very difficult to get good accuracy on, that kind of thing, rather than the mini jack kind of technical that we see a lot of the time in like MWC and other Rise maps.
Yeah, it's definitely be an interesting match to see. Sorry for the slight issues within the stream. Hopefully we can solve that relatively quickly, but we will keep you updated throughout this match. But we're getting into this first pick, which I think it's definitely going to set the stage for what to expect, especially just given that, like, I would say this pool has like kind of a heavy focus on the kind of like release aspects with like some of these like picks, especially within the tech category, I would say.
And we'll see how it goes in the first pick here. This is going to be able to set the tone here for ZKuri if they manage to win this one out on their first pick. But we'll see what Maxtulini can do, whether he can keep up as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's definitely going to be kind of a battle between accuracy versus consistency, which, I mean, I guess early on you do kind of have to expect it to be kind of prominent sometimes, just because like a lot of these like early / mid game LN picks can definitely be very challenging to hold accuracy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're still kind of, I guess, in this slightly easier side when it comes to the physicality as well. So not gonna be expecting misses every 2 seconds like we might be expecting later. But for now, it looks like a quite large accuracy discrepancy here. ZKuri on that 99.8. Maxtulini is dropping quite a few 200s down to 99.3.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of what we were saying earlier. I mean, I would say consistency is definitely going to be an important factor kind of early on still, but I think we're at a point so far where like a lot of these players are just able to hold that consistency, like no matter like the kind of pick that you go against in like these earlier rounds. I mean, sure, they're still quite difficult, but for the kind of caliber of players that we have here, it just isn't that big of an issue just yet.
Yeah, we have seen kind of exceptionally few misses throughout all of the matches so far. Last week, that is. This week, we'll have to see how it goes. And there we go. Actually, it's zKuri with quite a big miss. That drops the accuracy all the way down to 99.2.
Yeah, that is a detrimental drop. And I mean, you see that the accuracy was in zKuri's favor by a lot more, but that dirty miss, like you said, just leading it all the way over there. And I guess potentially consistency might be such a key factor in this match.
Yeah, I mean, that was 0.5% dropped, and in fact now Maxtulini has the accuracy lead as far as that goes. ZKuri should be able to recover the accuracy quite a lot, but can it be enough to offset the miss? I don't think so just yet, and there's not that much map left.
Yeah, with like this little time left, it does look quite scary, but I mean, we could maybe see a miss. I mean, the accuracy still is in favor of zKuri by just a little bit, so maybe just a little bit more accuracy and potentially goes the other way.
Scores are very close actually together. This is only like a couple thousand points, I think, looking through at these scores. And this lead is growing in terms of accuracy for zKuri over time. In fact, yeah, it is 1,000 points in zKuri's favor now at the end, despite that massive miss. It's just not going to matter in the end because of the accuracy difference. With 7 misses. Oh my god.
I guess maybe it might have been like an input issue or maybe
like a
just
game freeze.
Yeah. I mean, especially just because like it's LN, where like one miss can just equal like 2 misses right away, just because like you have that hold aspect and that like LN tail at the same time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I mean, 7 misses in a row is very unusual to see, regardless there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, hey, at least they were still able to snack that point in. It could have been a lot worse.
Oh, well, very, very almost was a lot worse there. But we can definitely see that zKuri has a little bit of a buffer when it comes to the accuracy on some of those more release-oriented maps there. And I wonder how Maxtulini is going to rebut this one here. Maybe into the density pool, I would think.
I could see that potentially. I mean, we do kind of have to wait and see how it goes. I mean, I think something along the lines of density could work out. Although, I'm not sure if I agree with density 1.
Maybe this one having a little bit too much of that release aspect within it as well, are you saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially like this pick in particular.
A very long one as well. 3.5 minutes is not necessarily the length that you're looking for if you're trying to win on combo. Because one singular miss is not going to do a whole lot of damage score-wise here.
Yeah, especially just because like I said, it has like this release aspect, and this density out of all the ones having like I would say the most coordination factor in it. I mean, I guess you could argue density 2 also has that by just a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's as bad here, especially just because it's a lot slower. So a lot of times like these slower density picks just kind of end up being a very pseudo coordination pick already.
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes really tricky to kind of act anything that's lower BPM. So far we're seeing a little bit of a similar situation as in the first map, but Maxtulini is still holding in fairly close this time, 99.4, almost 99.5 here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, like you said, one of those areas where, like, even if your opponent misses, it doesn't mean it's automatically going to go to you just because of just that factor of the kind of combo not mattering as much, just because there's a lot more notes, but just the fact that we've already seen through having just that accuracy advantage is just slightly more scary, especially just because it is so easy to drop 200s on this pick.
Yeah, but the accuracies are staying actually quite close now, and the accuracy lead shrinking a little bit here. Zkuri dropping a little bit of 200s. Maxtulini is actually increasing the accuracy over time.
Yeah, this could potentially be a pick that maybe goes in favor at the very end for Maxtulini, but we're still way too early to really say anything. I mean, with how the last pick went, I mean, maybe Kuro is a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah, potentially, and I think it's close enough so that one miss might give a very small lead to Maxtulini right now. But definitely needs to work on still closing this gap here. Managing to reach that 99.6 Maxtulini that's going to help out quite a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We just have to really wait and see. I mean, see this section already, and kind of going into the second half, Maxtulini, with that accuracy lead starting to get up just a little bit. Not to the fullest extent, but it's slowly chipping away, and especially on these longer picks, you want to just chip at it every so often.
Yeah, just wait for the accuracy drops to come from Zkuri's side, but so far Zkuri is looking quite consistent with that 99.7 accuracy-wise at least.
Yeah, I mean, both these players just being consistent in general. I guess it being just a bit of a rougher start for Maxtulini, which, I mean, can you really blame them when we're playing in like an LN tournament and you have to be so precise on every single note?
Oh yeah, no, it's rough sometimes at the start of a lot of these maps.
But as we're getting into it, it looks like this might be kind of the lowest lead we've seen so far in this. I mean, just 0.1% is a difference. I mean, unlike the last time, one miss is enough to just swing it all over, but I don't really know if we're going to see one.
Yeah, it's going to have to be quite soon because we're approaching the end of the map quite quickly. Accuracy lead has been gradually shrinking, but not quite fast enough for Maxtulini to be able to take any lead accuracy-wise. And it's still shrinking, actually. It's less than 0.1 now. So we're seeing these accuracies get closer and closer, but just not close enough, it seems, as we're at the end of the map now. No mistakes from either player here.
Yeah, good ending from both of them, but like, from what we've been seeing, I mean, there really isn't that much that could have been done. I mean, 200 away is not even that bad in general. It really just came down to that ratio. But like, at a certain point, you can only do so much with that ratio, but potentially this does set up for maybe some other picks Maxtulini could potentially go for.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot better with the density focused here rather than the tech before for Maxtulini. So definitely some options that he does have, but for now, Zkuri 2-0 up. It's going to be an early break point.
Yeah, like I said, it is going to be an early breakpoint, bringing it to 2-1, and it is their pick as well. So they definitely do have a lot more room to kind of explore some of these other picks potentially. I mean, probably want to avoid Density 2, just because I would say maybe that one's kind of a mixture of these two densities, and maybe Density 3 being the pick that maybe favors Maxtulini a little bit more.
That was the ban coming out from ZKuri though, so Density 3 we are not going to be able to see here.
Yeah, thankfully they don't have to go into that one, but okay, Coordination 1.
Coordination 1 was banned, so we can't have Coordination 1 being picked here, but maybe ZKuri wants to go for their Protect or something similar now.
I mean, I could see them maybe going for Tech 2.
Yeah, it is going to be Coordination 2 then. So the Protect being picked up now, trying to secure that 3-0 lead.
An understandable pick, I would say. I mean, they're already 2-0. This is kind of like the area where you could just kind of pick it, or unless you want to save it for the end, but I mean, there's no really other room for you to not choose this at all either.
Yeah, no, I always do like the kind of theory of picking your Protect right after you get a breakpoint, just to really like secure as best you can secure the point lead. Because it happens a lot when if you get a breakpoint and then immediately the other player or the other team gets a breakpoint, that's a big swing in momentum and confidence.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of like solidifying the lead that you have.
Yeah. Instead of kind of letting it potentially slip away a little bit.
Yeah, especially in like a tournament like this one where basically every match is scary no matter what. You want to make sure you can have that extra lead. I mean, it's like what I was saying within the last pick. These small chips of damage, they build up eventually, and that's what you're really just trying to do ultimately.
And we'll see how it ends up going on this map. We are expecting a fair accuracy lead on this one, actually, more so than we just saw on the Density 1. But so far, I mean, very early on into the map, nothing too tricky so far.
Yeah, but we're slowly getting into these really freaking control heavy patterns with basically a 2-note inverse with some unruly setting some notes, which it could be very easy for either of these players to drop, really.
And we can see a bit of an ACK lead. ZKuri on 99.8, Maxtulini on 99.6, but is increasing the accuracy over time now.
Not really much that can be done from the looks of things, especially as this is quite short, so all of these little chips of damage towards you is just going to hurt even more, like we've been seeing from Maxtulini.
Yeah, Maxtulini had another bit of a few 200s there, below 99.6 briefly, while ZKuri stays at that 99.8, not been dropping as much accuracy relatively.
Yeah, really solidifying the accuracy that they have, and definitely showing the potential that they have. I mean, it makes sense why they wanted to go with something like Coordination 1, like seeing like this kind of dichotomy between both these players, and I would imagine it'd be a lot more farther with something like Coordination 1.
And this accuracy is still kind of close enough, I would say, for Maxtulini to be able to capitalize on any mistake, but
yeah, absolutely.
Not enough time for Maxtulini to catch up on his own merit. It has to be a mistake right now from ZKuri, but looks like we're not going to be seeing that as we're already at the end of the map. It is going to be ZKuri picking up their own Protect 3-0 now.
Definitely a bit of a scary position to be in, especially as it is Maxtulini's pick. I mean, what do you really go for in this? I mean, obviously you do want to avoid the technical and the Coordination 3 pick, but I don't really know if something like Density 2 really is the way.
There is still the Protect from Maxtulini up. I think that was Tech 3. And I wonder if they're particularly confident with that map.
I don't know. Honestly, kind of looking at it, I feel like Tech 3 is still a little bit scary. I feel like maybe like wildcard 1 or maybe wildcard 3. I would say just because they're kind of more physical in a way, especially with like the shields that are around both of those.
Yeah, some of those physical maps might be a good idea for Maxtulini to go for. I do believe Maxtulini is quite a strong physical player overall, so should be able to keep up combo-wise.
Yeah, I could definitely expect that, especially just considering that they're rather consistent in general as well, even like that high range. Technically, I guess you were right.
So it was the protect, so we'll have to see exactly why it was protected soon, but something that Maxtulini feels that they have a chance on.
I'm not too sure how I feel about this one, just considering what we've been seeing with the like release heavy picks, like Coordination 2 and I guess Density 1.
Yeah, tech picks definitely seeming so far like they would favor Kuri, but obviously each of them are quite different in their own way.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially with this one, I guess in a way being more free flow in terms of like the patterning. I could see a world where this works. I just don't know if this was the safest pick though. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I have been feeling that Maxtulini has been kind of warming up as well after that first map that we saw. The accuracy has been looking a lot better for the past 2 maps. I'm wondering whether he can keep that up here.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. I mean, especially given that like the OT on this one is on the lower side, so potentially it does give room for him to also capitalize on that. Here we go.
Actually, quite similar starts here for both players on the 99.7 range. And in fact, Kuri dropping a little bit of 200s there. It's going to even up the score.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see how this is going already. I mean, I guess seeing how this beginning has gone, I guess I could see Maxtulini potentially being able to get a point on this one. I mean, especially like you said, I mean, starting like playing a lot more of these difficulty range, I guess you could say, definitely warming their accuracy up a lot, especially just because, I mean, with Ellen, you have to get used to how fast these releases are, and kind of going from like fast to slow or just slow to fast definitely can be a little bit of a hard change to get used to.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing another act drop there from Kuri, down to that 99.73, so it's staying very close. Maxtulini does drop their accuracy as well, though. So lead stays a little bit in favor of Kuri.
Yeah, just ever so slightly, but this being basically like one of the closest picks that we've seen so far. I mean, if we see a miss, it's instantly going the other way, especially with just how tricky these patterns can be.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely no guarantee as far as this accuracy lead is. Kuri is trying to pull ahead ever so slightly.
Yeah, you definitely see that kind of uphill battle that we've been seeing, and you just have to hope that Kuri misses at any of these moments. And
and that's Kuri does miss, but it comes at the same time as Maxtulini, so perfectly traded out. But these accuracies are still very close, all things considered.
God, that is so unfortunate. I mean, once these results are in, I mean, both these players are going to see how they did, and you just have to imagine the kind of distraught in seeing something that you potentially could have gotten a point on, especially just given that Maxtulini has been very consistent throughout this entire match as well.
Yeah, I know that feeling very well. It's when you start thinking of all the what ifs. What if I just didn't mess that one note up earlier on in the map? But right now, map coming to a close, and this accuracy lead very close still, but Kuri just very slightly in the lead. That's going to be enough to win the point.
Yeah, lead being so small. And a slider break as well, not even a miss.
Yes, same 200 count. ratio a little bit closer than it has been in previous maps as well. We can see this definitely would have gone over to Maxtulini without that slider break. I mean, same goes both ways though, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that is going to be 4-0 now. Zkuri in match point, 1 point away from being able to eliminate Maxtulini from the tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a scary moment, but potentially we could see Maxtulini make a potential comeback. But the only really scary factor in this is just the fact that they are 1 point away, like you said, and especially with just like the kind of like amount of like really tricky release files there are within this pool specifically.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options that Zkuri could decide to go for.
I'd imagine they go for maybe Tech 2 or Coordination 3, just given how things have been going.
Yeah, those pools have been very, very good to Zkuri so far, for sure.
Yeah, I don't see them going... Okay, I was gonna say I don't see them going for the wild cards just because I feel like maybe those could help Maxtulini, but immediately going to wild card 1.
Yeah, picking the original.
I mean, I can't blame them. It's such a good song.
Of course, that sometimes does have a big factor in pick choices as well that we don't necessarily always talk about. Yeah, but just how much does the players like the songs?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially just given the kind of variety that the pool needs in that song choice. I mean, if the song choice is good, potentially it could just help them score even better as well.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If you really enjoy the song a lot, then it just becomes so much easier to focus, kind of, and get and practice as well. I guess as well. You know, you're much more willing to practice it more. Yeah, I find that some songs, if I'm not really feeling it, then my brain just kind of floats off, and I end up missing at some point, pretty much.
Yeah, that's definitely such a huge thing that like we don't consider at all. It's such a small factor that it just kind of flies over our heads, but it definitely can be such a huge factor that really shifts the tides around.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll see how this one goes. Potentially the last pick that we're going to be able to see here, if Zkuri manages to win it out. But we'll see if Maxtulini can do some damage now. He has been fairly close on a couple of these.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like maybe this pick could be a good one, just because in a way it is a bit choke heavy with some of these shields.
Overall here, very close start between both of them, within 0.1%. Zkuri actually does drop a couple 200s there. So Ak lead shrinking, but so does Maxtulini. And, I mean, trading back and forth, both players dropping accuracy kind of at the same parts here, alternating.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's such a huge like back and forth battle, and I guess that kind of like choke factor maybe coming in. I mean, I would say me personally, I find like these kind of like shieldy, like mini jackie patterns to be a bit harder to hold your ratio on, just because in a way it's a bit physical, but it's kind of, I guess, unusual and unflowy as well.
Yeah, always kind of hard with some of the more physical patterns as well, because you really do have to dedicate some of your focus towards keeping that combo as well. You can't necessarily dedicate like everything into just making sure that you're following the correct timings here. But so far, both players holding on quite well. 99.67 for Maxtulini and 0.72 for Zkuri, so not too far apart, only 1,000 points in accuracy.
Yeah, it's just that choke factor that really keeps coming in, and I guess potentially nerfs that makes this a lot more difficult for Maxtulini, just given that they know that they're at match point, and especially just the fact that this is a loser's bracket match. Yeah,
absolutely. Though there's quite a large accuracy drop. A lot of 200s from Zkuri there is going to pretty much even things out. This is within a few hundred points now, a couple 200s difference between the two players.
Gosh, this is so nerve-wracking because you know it could really switch at any point if we see either of them just choke just a little bit too much.
Absolutely. But now zKuri recovering the accuracy towards the end there, recovering from those 200s earlier. And Maxtulini's accuracy is staying at 0.64. Not changing over time, and unless there's a big mistake happening really soon, zKuri does still have this advantage.
Yeah, but it does look like that is going to seal the deal. A 990 coming in from zKuri and a 988 coming from Maxtulini. Some really good scores, especially just considering that this pool has gone just a noticeably amount harder, and just the fact that this pick as well being just quite awkward.
Yeah, I mean, we see again, I think the story of this match has been like the 200 count's been basically tied 8-8 on that map. And for most of the maps, I feel like Maxtulini was pretty much with the exact same 200 count as well. It's just that ratio that's keeping these two players separated.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see a few like 200s maybe splitting in one part, but it's not even by like that much. It really, like you said, was just the ratio. But put these players opting into the tiebreaker, so might as well showcase it. I mean, who knows how many matches we'll see that do go to tiebreaker.
Hopefully we see a few of them. It being an original song as well, definitely would be cool to see in a real tiebreaker situation, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this song is so fun as well.
I have been pretty sad with some of the MWC matches with all of the original tiebreakers that we had. Lots of matches very close to going to tiebreaker, but we didn't actually manage to see any of those ones in an actual match, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, with like a lot more players being able to play rather than it being like a team setting, there's definitely a lot more opportunity for that, and especially with just like how close a lot of these matches do look. I mean, hopefully we'll see it. There's no guarantee about it, but we can only hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a lot of close matches happening now, you know, especially given that we have the seedings, right? The higher seeds now winning their first matches, presumably now in the winners bracket, should result in some closer matches there. And of course, in the lower bracket as well, there's a lot of players that got very similar scores in the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this one just being kind of a bit of an unfortunate situation, but I mean, you do have a lot of these matches which are like 1 to like 10 seeds apart.
What is MSG? MSG is king of flavor.
But I guess while this goes on, I do believe our next match is in about 2.5 hours. We won't have to wait too long for another match, but do have to wait just a little bit.
Yeah, no, none others in this block right now, but yeah, for UTC, that one will be just a couple of isolated matches that we had in a row here. That's going to be Pavin versus Darkachizer, actually, so that's a winner's bracket match again that we're going to be able to see.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how both those players do. I mean, especially just given the seeing, but hey, I mean, we've seen a lot of strange things happen. Who knows? Maybe we see an upset.
I think Darkachizer in the winner's bracket because of an upset that happened, at least a little upset that happened seeding-wise.
I mean, hey, an upset's an upset. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how that one goes. And for now, these players onto this tiebreaker. Fairly close again. This accuracy lead has been pretty much the same, I think, for the past like 4 maps in a row almost.
Yeah, you definitely see that both these players are just so consistent in general, and it makes sense to see why someone like Maxtulini was able to make it into this tournament. I mean, especially with just how like competitive the qualifiers were, consistency just being such a huge factor in being able to make it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely has the ability. And I think it was against a lot of other players that we're seeing in the losers bracket. It would have been maybe a lot closer, like score-wise at the end of things, and potentially, I think Maxtulini could have beaten some of the other losers bracket teams, but players, but just unfortunate selection here. That's how it goes.
Yeah, it's just such an unfortunate situation, just given that it was a forfeit. I mean, there really isn't much that they could have really done, and you can't really put the blame on Zkuri too much. Things pop up sometimes that are just out of control.
Yeah, of course. I'm assuming Zkuri just had some emergency situation happen last week, which does happen, so we'll see how this one goes. Actually, both players full comboing the tiebreaker so far. We're at the halfway mark.
I mean, really good scores in general. I mean, you see Maxtulini's like accuracy being quite high on this one, which I would say is just so hard to do, given that like there's so many different skill sets in this one, and especially like the length. This is just really another battle of like what we've been seeing like with the other picks.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting how the accuracy has just been exactly the same. I feel like every map it's been Zkuri on 99.7, Maxtulini on 99.6, like these exact two accuracies happening over time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely expect it to happen like some other matches. I mean, maybe not like 99.7, 99.6. I mean, maybe it's just like 0.02, maybe not 0.02, 0.002, like 0.05, like within that range. The accuracy's lower just a little bit, but not even by that much. It's like just kind of like another case of like the kind of shields being a little bit difficult for both these players. I mean, we saw both of them having a little bit lower accuracy compared to the other ones when it came to this wild card one.
We may have lost Snow a little bit here. I don't know if stream can hear me, but it does look like we have the same kind of accuracy lead between the two players, just both players dropping in accuracy about the same amount at the same time here.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi decided to die, but somehow the stream was fine. Maybe
yeah, I was wondering. Because, yeah, everything froze for me on the Discord side of things, and I checked the stream and it was working perfectly fine, so...
maybe just a Discord issue? I do know, like, a few weeks ago, there was, maybe, like, a really big, like, Discord issue during, like, another match, and it was, like, really bad. Maybe another one of those situations. Hopefully it's fine for the next match.
And sometimes Discord does funny things when it comes to, like, the voice calls and the streams and everything like that.
But enough of that, and went back into this, and both these players holding that full combo. I mean, they're definitely going to want to, especially if they want to submit this to the OLL. Or OI. I forget the acronym.
OII, I think. Oi. But here, yeah, at the very end of the map, still no mistakes, still no misses. Both players still 0.1% accuracy apart. And it will be Zkuri winning that one as well by about 3,000 points.
Not even like that large. So this is like what we've been seeing throughout this entire match. It's just crazy scores from both these players. Again, it's just that ratio, and I guess the great count being a bit larger, just for the fact that it's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, of course, but the ratio is actually pretty much the same on that map. So maybe with some of those more difficult, like all-rounded maps, Maxtulini could catch up ratio-wise there, but unfortunately will be eliminated from the tournament here in the round of 32, while Zkuri gets to see one more round next week as well. So Zkuri will proceed to the round of 16 in the lower bracket.
Yeah, they will be winning this, and like I said, unfortunately Maxtulini will be out. Such a scary situation to be in, just given how stacked this tournament is. But I mean, they've definitely shown that they have their abilities, so I wouldn't really give up all that much yet. They definitely have a lot of potential, especially for some future ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Would be good to see them coming. Coming matches, a few of the matchups that we have here in the winners bracket as well. And I think we did mention earlier as well, the next one is going to be in about 2.5 hours, so 4 UTC, if you want to convert that to whatever time zone you have. But yeah, lots of matches still to come. We've only had 2 happen this week so far, so plenty today and tomorrow. Oh, are we both muted? Oh, okay. But yeah, that is going to be it for now. We're going to be having a little bit of a break, but make sure you come back in time for Pavin versus Darkachizer. That's going to be at 4 UTC. So until then, we'll see you.
Yeah, I've been your content streamers now. Thank you, Potassium, for joining me, and we will be seeing you in about 2 hours.